NBA Entertainment, Grant Hill, take one.
Tonight we get a chance to see one of the most talented players in the NBA, Grant Hill, having a terrific...
Grant Hill spins and slams!
Here is a great player, and yet sort of an all-American boy.
Grant Hill!
He's always been a humble guy. He looks gentle, but he's a tiger underneath.
Wow, what a play by Grant Hill!
Grant is as close to being perfect as you can find.
The 1995 Schick Rookie of the Year, Grant Hill.
It is unbelievable how good Grant is, and at such a young age.
And the Motor City fell in love with this apple pie eating Duke graduating eloquent speaking Grant Hill.
Grant Hill's your favorite player?
Man, that's Grant Hill.
I saw him on a box of mini wheats. Where did this come from?
Wherever he goes, it's Grant Hill, Grant Hill, Grant Hill.
Grant Hill? Please welcome Grant Hill.
Here's the Detroit Pistons, Grant Hill.
It was huge.
Pick up Grant Hill, please. Yeah, we're trying to play.
Hill on the run, still with the dribble, foul line, dotted line to the hoop, score!
Everything that you heard about him, you become cynical and say, oh, it just can't be true.
What's your favorite subject in school?
He knows who he is and what he can do, and what he can't do.
Now, where are you taking me?
I like to go to this bookstore here.
Well, I think he comes off genuine because he is genuine.
Can Grant Hill save sports?
As a rookie, Grant Hill got more All-Star votes than anyone else in the world. This year again, Grant is at the top of the hill.
Grant is one of those young guys that the NBA has latched onto, and I said, look, this is a guy that we want to show you what the NBA is all about. They couldn't have a better one.
Grant Hill, one-hand slam! Sensational!
Nice to beat Grant basketball all the time, and resting you basketball there.
Yeah, there was a time when Michael was better than me.
Oh, I used to kill him.
A long time ago.
Wasn't that long ago.
Long time ago.
Wasn't that long ago. I gave Grant nightmares.
But unfortunately, when Michael was 12, he stopped growing, so. I feel as if when I'm out there on the court that I can do whatever I want to do.
Pick and roll, Grant Hill and Terry. The slash, the kill!
Whoever I'm going against is not going to stop me.
Grant Hill comes through, reverses off the high glass, and he hit it. Little Dr. J for you there.
The only person who can stop me is myself.
Crossover dribble between the legs, Gutting on the run, he got it!
Ooh, hello. What a move by Grant Hill.
In comes a fresh young man in Grant Hill who brought back some of that flair to the game.
Serious slam!
Grant Hill
To the rim for the jam!
Just not a weakness in his game.
That is just beautiful.
I remember one particular alley-oop pass, and the pass was off-center. He had to reach back 4 or 5 feet to get it.
Here comes the Pistons. Here comes Hunter.
Buckle up!
Oh, baby, what a play by Grant Hill. That was sensational.
Those are the type of plays that he makes night in and night out. It's amazing sometimes the things that he does.
Dante Grant Hill is fun to watch. Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
He's up over the rim, and he's slamming it in there. Everybody goes, yeah, they can't say where. They just look around and say,
Grant Hill with the explosion!
That was Jordan Ness.
I think Grant Hill's skills are unbelievable. He's one of those versatile players who could pick up a ball game.
Grant get by a finger roll over Jordan!
The kid is probably in the top 4 in terms of players in the game today.
There's Hill with the steal. Barrows the angle, but not good enough.
What I really like about him, though, is that he looks gentle. He's very kind and soft, but he's a tiger. I mean, he works hard. He's determined. He's competitive.
I don't believe what I just saw.
Remember now, on a 4-2 defense, that's what that was. In a 4-2 defense, the percentage real high. Check your block.
I remember my father as a professional athlete, and I used to say he had his game face on from training camp until the end of the season. And he was so intense and so focused that it was almost scary.
When
Calvin played, Grant was very young, but I think that later in life he must have remembered some of the things that he saw when he was a little boy.
I got ball. Switch, baby, switch. It just doesn't take talent. There's a lot of talented guys in the NBA, but there's a certain work ethic that you have to have, and I see that in him. I see him pushing himself, trying to get better.
Grant was just the type of player that was just hungry to learn, and he challenged himself daily to improve his game.
A lot of times after big games on Friday nights, he would be at the playground playing, practicing on his own. His friends sometimes would offer games. He would, politely reject it just so he could practice.
Something my mom taught me. My mom, she worked so hard. She kept long hours at work, but then when she came home, she worked hard. And she'd say, Grant, when I go into a meeting, I want to cover all areas. I want to be prepared for anything. And it's just like in basketball.
We used to go to Georgetown games, and then after watching the games in person, watching on tape, Grant would stop and rewind and rewind and rewind.
I remember when we visited North Carolina and Coach Smith took Grant into the film room and I guess to explain the X's and O's, and Coach Smith said he already understands a lot of the stuff we do.
Each year, people doubted an aspect of Grant's game, and given that we were from the suburbs, they assumed he was soft. We would come out and we'd first play the game, we'd usually run a backdoor screen for Grant, and he would just dunk it on whoever was there, and that set the tone for the game. It was kind of an intimidating factor. He did whatever he wanted to do, when he wanted to do it.
The most incredible play in Northern Virginia basketball history took place on South Lakes Court.
That was the first big game for me, my first coming out party. It was sophomore year, and I just had braces, I looked really young. It was a big game because it was a championship game. We were playing against our rivals. In the second half, they were up by 15 points. I just got hot and hit the last 8-9 buckets.
He just went off, just went ballistic. He scored 16 points in like a minute. At the end of the game, it was just basically a back screen for Grant, and he went up.
I just remember scoring a lot of points at the end and then winning it on the alley-oop dunk. And it was a fun game. But it was bad because the next day we lost. So it didn't mean that.
People can't get enough of Grant Hill.
The Detroit Pistons select Grant Hill.
Detroit is getting them a gem right here. Not only a tremendous player.
And when I heard the commissioner call my name, I was thinking, I hope I don't trip walking up to see Commissioner Stern. I hope I don't embarrass myself or embarrass my family, because I was so excited.
A tremendous young man, Grant Hill, who is achieving his dream.
But it was, I think afterwards, I got home afterwards and I said, hey, I'm in the NBA now.
This is a big day in Pistons history. My hands are shaking.
My hands too. I wanted to come in and assert myself from the start, and I felt it was important in order for me to do that, to be in training camp and to be signed and have all that stuff taken care of. I wanted to come in and start from day one.
Pass, baby. Oh, damn, Blue!
It's preseason game number 1 here at the Palace as we get set to witness what could be the dawning of the Grant Hill era.
It's a new team for you every time you step on the floor, so you won't have problems getting up or excited or pumped for a game. I'm getting psyched for a game.
I was really pumped up. I was really excited before the game. I was a little nervous too.
We're going to see just what Grant Hill has to offer.
Ready, baby? Ready?
And I'm ready to go out here and play real hard, and it's my first game, and then you have Joe on the other side of the court who's a veteran and he's basically saying to himself, this boy, he has no idea.
Well, we're ready to tip it up in preseason game number 1 here, and we're going to give you a chance to take a look at Grant Hill.
very ironic that the ball just happens to hit my hand, and I see him streaking down the right side, and I just throw it up there and say, "Go get it, young fella."
Pistons do win the tap. Here's an alley-oop! With the explosion!
I didn't want to ease into it. I wanted to jump into it head first.
What a way to start your career! How's he going to tap that?
Like I said, I jumped in head first right on the first play.
The rookie teaches the veteran a lesson.
So far, you like what you see?
Boy, is he a good-looking rookie. Does he fit into this team? That's just awesome.
The Pistons lineup with Grant Hill in it is no longer showing its age.
Houston with a rebound, bounces the outlet. Joe D midcourt, right side, 3-on-1 alley-oop. Grant Hill for the flush!
He doesn't even look like a rookie anymore.
Hill with a reverse dunk!
Some rookies adjust quicker than others. And I think, in my case, I adjusted pretty fast.
Grant Hill has taken the NBA by storm.
Miller, the lob to Hill.
I sometimes worry about putting pressure on guys, and I don't mean to do that with Grant, but he's simply a marvelous player who can do it all.
He's a great talent, and he's definitely gonna get better. He's gonna be a star in the league.
Blocked by Grant Hill. Come on, defense! Grant Hill with the steal.
Got a lot of rave reviews from a lot of people around the league. What do you think about that?
I never imagined, things would go the way they have, and especially so fast in that first part of my rookie year.
Everybody and his brother wanted him on a TV show.
He is the odds-on favorite to be named Rookie of the Year.
Or radio show.
Today is Grant Hill Day.
He was everywhere from Letterman to GQ and all stops in between.
It was interesting to sit and just watch him handle it all. He did an absolutely fabulous job with it.
Hi, this is Grant Hill on WJLB 97.5.
He said and did all the right things, and it didn't look like it was an act. It looked real to me.
I always wanted to be a radio DJ.
We got Brandy, I Want to Be Down, kicking it on WJLB.
It was huge. It was huge.
People do anything to get on TV.
Grant Hill drinks Sprite.
He was getting endorsements, and everybody grabbing and pulling him.
Come here! Tell him to come here!
That type thing. I mean, everybody's attracted. Everybody's following you wherever you go. Just Grant Hill, Grant Hill, Grant Hill.
Going on TV, going on the Letterman show, late shows, talk shows, whatever. That was all fun.
You kind of have the Charles Barkley haircut going there, don't you? Just a little bit.
But adjusting to celebrity or whatever.
I'm sorry, man.
It was crazy. I've never been through a period like that before.
Can't please everybody.
And he did it on the court and off the court.
You guys are nice. You gotta watch this. You gotta back door. All right? So when you look, step hard.
Rookie.
He just might be all-star caliber.
Hill off the high glass.
Let's go. Start with D now. Go, Lizzie, go, Lizzie, go, go. Tighten up on D. Let's go. Tighten up on D. Good hands. Let's strip. Go.
Hill on the run. Grant Hill, coast to coast.
Good awesome.
Grant Hill driving, got through them all and dunked.
You ever seen a crowd stand up and cheer for the opposition's player?
The fans are electrified by creativity, and Grant Hill certainly has those credentials.
The fans are speaking their minds at the All-Star ballot box. They seem to say, we want Grant Hill.
Grant Hill became the first rookie in the history of the NBA, or all major sports for that matter, to gain more votes than anybody else for the All-Star game.
I had dreams of making the All-Star team, but I didn't take it after my first year. But to be in the big game and to be the leading vote getter, I don't know why it happened. Probably my mom went to Foot Locker and stuffed all the ballots.
Like I said to you yesterday, this is your game. This game is for you guys to go out and showcase your talents and abilities out there.
Right before the game, in the locker room, looking around the locker room, and you have Shaq next to you, and you have Alonzo across the way, and Larry Johnson, Reggie Miller, and even while I was there, I wanted to go around and get everybody's autograph. I felt like a fan.
What do you say, gang? Let's just go have some fun. Come on.
Let's go. Yeah, peace.
Grant Hill is a true phenomenon.
was a lot of fun. And I just realized then that there's a lot of people that would love to be in the shoes that I'm in now and get the opportunity to play with these guys and play in an all-star game, and just felt real gratifying.
Pressure on him, I think, is enormous. It would cause me to crack.
And you know, it's kind of inspiring to hope that maybe someday we could get to that point like that guy like Grant Allen, where we can kind of look for one another. You know, a lot of things have happened since I've been in the NBA, but I can always relate them, or there's a story that parallels the same experience that my dad went through or one of his teammates went through.
Calvin has also had a chance to expose him to stories, if not individuals, who have not made those transitions well, who have had more difficulty dealing with the celebrity. Grant has heard every story that could be told.
Honestly, I cannot recall one incident since I've known Grant my entire life to brag about himself, his dad, what he had as a family, what they had accomplished. And so he went to such great lengths to downplay his father and everything that he had done. I mean, he was clearly proud of his dad, but he would never talk about his dad as a player. So maybe basketball was his way to establish his own identity and to avoid those comparisons.
I was so upset because I couldn't play football. My father wouldn't let me play football. And now looking back, you know, he was right. You know, I was able to play another sport and learn that sport and become good at it, and ultimately avoid the comparisons of being Calvin Hill's son on the football field.
Perhaps it would have been harder had he played football, although from time to time he's wondered what he would have been like as a big wide receiver.
Friends of mine would nickname her the General. She was really tough. She was really tough on me and even tough on my friends, and demanded a lot from all of us. She was by far the disciplinarian in the family, and but you know, she taught me right from wrong. And she was the one who was punishing me when I got in trouble, but she was the one who was taking me to soccer practice and taking me to basketball practice, and she had a tough job, but she did pretty good.
I called him up. I said, Grant, you're on the cover of Sports Illustrated. You're an 18-year-old freshman, and you're on the cover of Sports Illustrated. Oh, for real? You know, that was the end of the conversation. He knew he was on the cover. He never even called me to tell me, and there wouldn't have been nothing wrong. Any normal person would have said, hey, I'm on the cover of Sports Illustrated. Never said a thing.
I think he's always been the same. He's got the same sensitivity, the same awareness, the same sense of responsibility, the same work ethic. He has more money and he has more media attention, neither of which have changed the essential him. He's still the same.
I mean, he's a nice guy. I mean, I tell people that if I had a daughter, I would feel pretty comfortable and pretty good if somebody like Grant married her.
Well, I've had a lot of influences in my life, but I'd have to single out, you know, probably my mother and my father. They were my role models. They were very positive to me, and I want to be like them. And people say they want to be like Mike. Well, I want to be like Janet and Calvin.
This kid plays like he's been in the league for 5 years already.
Somebody better tell me he's in the NBA. I mean, he's just out having fun.
Some of the things he does on the court looks so effortless.
Sensational. Watch the spin. Oh, my. Where'd he go? Is he having fun or what?
Grant is one of those young guys that the NBA has latched onto and has said, look, this is a guy that we want to show you what the NBA is all about.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
I knew him as being a little shy and a little on the quiet side. Once you get by the shyness and the quiet part, then you see that he is entertaining and he is fun.
Grant Hill is fun to watch.
That's highlight film material right there.
Grant, you sure were good tonight.
You know, he understands the entertainment part of it, and he does a great job. But he has fun with it. He's a young kid. He's 22 or 23 years old, and he's a young guy. I mean, he has fun.
Basketball comes natural. Acting doesn't.
You're in my world now, Hill.
Gee, I never used to wear makeup. I don't know if I want to get this on camera. truth is, I'm kind of shy. Even though I have a 5:30 wake-up call, I still manage to have fun.
I was amazed at his savvy, his ability to deal with people at all levels.
Can you make this out to my best pal, Obi? Thanks for fixing my garbage disposal.
Well, I'm really glad to meet you, because I'm a big fan, and I have been for a long time.
You know, all of a sudden you're, on a small scale, you're a celebrity.
So look at him, he's ready to go. He's all excited. Huh? This is how you get psyched before the big game. Knock him out.
From the NBC studios in Burbank, The Tonight Show with Jay Leno.
Sorry you can't be on the show tonight, but...
From the Detroit Pistons, Grant Hill.
Can I get an autograph before you leave?
It's The Late Show with David Letterman.
The dream of mine was always play in the NBA, but the bigger dream was to play with the Late Show band.
God bless you.
So
And you're going to play the piano?
Play the piano.
All right, Grant. Good to meet you. Grant Hill, ladies and gentlemen. Paul, there he comes.
I'm going to let you in on a little secret. See, I played a little bit when I was younger, about 4 years, but I'm really not that good. There was one song that I always played in college, and when I was in college, Tony Lang, who's in the Cleveland Cavaliers now, he was my roommate, and real late at night, I'd play that song, Tender Love.
I knew which song he was going to play.
So Tony was so tired of that song. I mean, he hated that song. He sees me playing it on Letterman, and he's just like, oh God, you're still playing that song. You still haven't learned a new song.
Finally got that one song down, and now everybody thinks he's like this great piano player.
Hey Dan, what's wrong? Hey Grant. I'm determined to learn some more songs and master the art of playing the piano.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
No problem, man.
He's been in everything, and he played 1 year in this league, and so you wonder, what's he do next?
Join us now as we name the Dream Team, the United States team for Atlanta in 1996. Your first step to getting a gold medal starts with wearing this. Here is your uniform, your jersey.
All right, looks good to me.
It means a lot, to represent your country and to be considered, one of the top players and to be on this dream team. It's a great feeling. That's it, right? It's a wrap. No, not yet.
But he says, and we say to him, that celebrity is a privilege, it is not a birthright.
One way to justify it is to understand that it's a gift you've been given, but you got to do something with that gift. Otherwise, it's sort of an empty vessel, and you become an empty vessel.
Who wouldn't want to be a role model? I mean, that means you're doing something right, or at least someone thinks you're doing something right. I donated some money to Detroit to refurbish some backboards and to redo some courts. That was something to me that was important early on to get active.
He understands the difficulties that go with being a modern professional athlete, and yet he's willing to accept the challenge. And that makes it easier for us to say, Grant Hill, he can save professional sports.
You're my role model, Grant Hill.
He understands the power that athletes have, and he takes that seriously.
Make a career of humanity, and you will make a greater person of yourself. These are the words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., whose accomplishments are an inspiration to us all. To be able to affect or have a positive influence on someone old or young, to me is a great feeling, and hopefully I can touch people in a positive way.
Grant Hill has certainly enjoyed a solid rookie year, but the Pistons continue to struggle.
In college, you play 30 games over a 4 or 5 month period. NBA, you play 30 games over 2 months. An average of 4 games a week. People don't realize how tough that is, and it takes its toll mentally and physically. I feel like I aged about 10 years and 2 days.
The wall comes a little bit quicker too when you're losing. When you're winning, you don't hit the wall as quick and as often.
Mentally, I'm just drained, and I'm ready to go to an island or something and just relax.
Just a 1-point lead for Orlando. Grant Hill with a drive to the rim.
It's got to be one of the worst feelings when you know it's bad and it's getting worse and there's not a whole lot you can do about it.
It was hard, and I think he got a little lonesome also. I think it was hard because the season was long. He had an early bout of the flu. He had a foot injury. So he had some ups and downs, and then he had a lot of losses, more losses than he'd had in his entire career as a basketball player from the age of 8.
Now, this sport can be great fun when you're winning, but when you're fighting through losing spells, it's the deadest feeling in the world.
People say you adjust to losing, you become comfortable with it. I can never adjust to losing. It still hurts the same that it's always has.
The frustration is really coming out. The fact that they can't get the job done.
They won 28 games, and the first thing is, is can Grant Hill win in the NBA? I know Grant hates to lose, and I know Grant has never lost before. I mean, at Duke, they always won.
It was summer of '89, and I was getting ready to go to college. I think it was a week before freshman orientation at Duke, and I was a little nervous. I was scared. So I made a phone call to the assistant coach, Tommy Amaker, who is from the same area I'm from, and I've known for a long time. And
he called me one night and wanted to know could he really play? Could he really play here at Duke?
Tommy, am I ready for this? Do you think I can do it?
Am I really good enough to play at Duke? This is the ACC and big-time college basketball. I almost laughed and joked and everything else, but we told him he was good enough, and he was definitely good enough to play for us.
It was really good to hear that from him, someone I looked up to, someone I admired. And sure enough, I came in, and things were a lot easier than I anticipated.
UNLV comes into tonight's contest 34-0, having won 45 consecutive basketball games.
Hold them back. 1, 2, 3, win!
Well, here's a freshman, barely 18 years old, playing against the 23, 24-year-old UNLV running Rebs.
I just wanted to come in and be competitive, maybe be a good practice player, and hopefully get a shot to play in some games. And that was pretty much it. I didn't think in my first year I'd be on that team. I didn't think in my first year I'd be a starter on that team.
Grant Hill for Duke. Great confidence boost for Grant Hill.
Tarkanian's move to put Johnson on Hill really works in Duke's advantage.
Laker left open.
Nice dribble penetration by Grant Hill.
In the hands of Augmon. Grant Hill comes out of the pack. Bounces it to Hurley. Duke scores with Grant Hill.
They had been used to blowing everybody out. They'd never been in a close game.
76-74, Vegas by the deuce. Grant Hill guarded by Augmon. Here's Hill penetrating, dumps it off to Vegas, slashing layup. Got it, he's fouled on the play.
Duke has done it. Duke has upset UNLV.
The biggest upset in the history of Duke basketball. And the Blue Devils will play the Kansas Jayhawks for the national championship.
This is our night. Hey, look, let's look each other in the eye right now before we go on the court. There's no tomorrow, boys. We're going to win a national championship. Come on, man.
There was no way we were going to lose. We weren't going to allow it.
Kansas has won 2 championships. Duke is looking for its elusive first crown. The ball a lot here to play and up the glass. Too strong. Laker tracks down the rebound.
Kuback with a great slush, and he's all right.
He'll call. Oh, can you believe he got that high?
That ball was thrown to the point that it was going out of bounds. I don't know how he got up there to get it.
I never thought he would save it, much less dunk it.
I didn't remember it when it happened. I didn't remember it until the next day when I saw the highlights.
David, look at this play.
When the ball left my hands, I was saying, that's going to be in the third row. And he just seemed like he was climbing higher and higher to get it.
Incredible.
We think about some of the great players and times that they do things in their career, and certainly Grant Hill has to be put into that category for the alley-oop dunk as a freshman.
The freshman Grant Hill.
For me in college, it was probably the play that everyone remembers.
Duke has won its first national championship.
One of the beautiful things about Grant is that he always recognized that he wanted to be a part of a great team, and that one person wasn't going to make that team.
No team has repeated as NCAA champions since UCLA did it in 1973.
It's very uncommon on a team where you get everybody on the same page. Everybody knows their role, and everyone is all about winning. Everybody was on that page. Everyone wanted to win. Everyone wanted to sacrifice their game a little bit for the sake of the team.
The Duke of Destiny has won it. For the first time in 2 decades, college basketball has a repeat champion.
And it's senior year, it was his team, have more of his personality in it.
Grant's dribbling the ball like this, and I'm ahead. And what you guys are doing now is you're trying to time it. I don't want that. Like, if you're ahead, he'll pass ahead.
Beginning of the season, we played teams that aren't that good. We play them just to get ready for the regular season. Guys on my team, they would have games 15 points, 20 points, and I may score 12 points. And my dad would say, Grant, are you trying to win Player of the Year this year? And I'm like, yeah, that's one of my goals. You know, it's not the number one goal, but that's one of my goals. Glenn Robinson scoring 30 points. Donnell Marshall scoring 27 points. Grant, you play these guys, you got to score all these points. And I'm like, well, Dad, I'm trying to win a championship. And I know that in order for us to win, these guys are going to have to come through for me. They got to come through in tournament time. And in the conference finals against Purdue, I get in foul trouble and I go to the bench. And Jeff Capel and Tony Lang and Cherokee Parks and Chris Collins all make great plays and really win the game for us and give us the opportunity to go to the Final Four. So after the Final Four, I told my dad, I told you these guys were going to come through, when they did.
This was truly Grant Hill's basketball team. He put his imprint on the team from start of the season to the finish.
The person who walked into Duke was someone who wanted to be a great player, but maybe didn't necessarily know what it would take to become a great player. And I think in leaving, after being there for 4 years, and I had a better understanding of what it takes to be a great player.
What has been a very difficult season, 50 losses on the year.
Yet he has continued to excel offensively. Today, as expected, Grant Hill was named Rookie of the Year.
My rookie year was a good year, I guess, for me personally, but winning is the top. Winning is, so that's what pushes me to be the best.
And Grant Hill's come to play. Regardless of them not making the playoff, he's still playing hard out there. You got to respect this kid.
But I was fortunate to win in high school and in college, and I haven't won at this level, and that's something that motivates me to try to win and bring a championship back here to snowy, cold Detroit.
Great way to start the season. New coach, a new system.
I want to play for an organization that's won before. In Detroit, the Pistons have won, and they won back-to-back as well.
Detroit Pistons are once again the world champions of basketball.
They remind me of Duke in a lot of ways because they have really class people who want to win. So to me, it was the perfect fit.
You did great, man. Grant, get out. You did terrible.
Honestly, I was a big Chicago Bulls fan. I was a big Michael Jordan fan. I used to hate Joe because he used to do well against Michael. But after meeting Joe and spending some time with him and just talking to him, I was sold on Joe Dumars.
I love your game, Grant. You're wonderful.
From then on, he's been in my corner. He's been extremely helpful.
Half court, Grant. Grant, I should have got out. Yeah. But it was a bad pass, though. But the line may not always be there. It may just be the skip pass.
He's showed me the ropes on and off the court.
Absolutely. I want Grant sitting right there with me. All the media come, cover Grant. Grant, you're Duke and you're great and Blue Devils and Pistons. And Joe slips out the back door and goes home and smiles.
And he showed me really how to do things the right way and be professional about your job.
Is that Joe Dumars?
No, your number.
What's that, number 4?
33.
33. Tell me what I did. Tell me what he did so I can tell him. Tell me what he did.
When he went to go, he just grabbed the ball.
If you're going to try to carry the banner of a great team that's been great and an organization that's going to put it upon you to help get back to that stage, you need someone who's mature and who's confident and who can handle it.
You're spotting up. I just don't. Yeah. Okay.
I thought that he was the type of guy who could carry that banner for the Pistons.
Defense and rebound. Let's get started. Go. 1, 2, 3, work.
He's been cast in a real tough situation here. We're rebuilding this franchise in Detroit, and Grant knows his greatness will be decided by how good this franchise gets.
Grant Hill taking this game over.
Grant Hill going to work, and work he does. An important possession here for the Pistons. Hill for Reed.
A lot of great players come in the first 3 or 4 years. They're putting up huge numbers, and then around their 5th, 6th year, they realize, I need to start winning.
Shot blocked by Grant Hill.
He realizes that winning is important right now. His focus is to win. He doesn't go out and try to get 40 a night. He just tries to help us win games, and that's what makes him special.
Grant drives, Harper, wow! Sensational play by Grant Hill!
Say what you will about one player not making the difference between a good team and a bad team.
And that's a triple-double for Grant Hill!
But glance quickly at the 180 the Pistons have done this year, and you may agree that Grant Hill is the exception to that rule.
Big possession for the Pistons. Otis Thorpe in the screen and roll. Robinson switches off it. Grant takes it inside. Puts it down! A year ago, he was intimidated by the end. He's grown up a lot in the year, hasn't he?
That's why we're in this, is to win. Either you win or you lose, and no one likes to lose, or at least no one I like to associate myself with likes to lose. I like to associate myself with winners, and I know in time we will be winning here in Detroit and winning a championship or 2 or 3.
The Pistons are still one of the marquee teams because people simply want to see Grant Hill.
I'm just as nervous now before a game as I was before my first varsity game as a freshman.
He's the next superstar. Now 2 years in a row he's led all players in All-Star voting.
I'm not superstitious at all. I don't have a ritual. I think the one thing, though, I like to listen to music. I like to listen to loud music. It gets me pumped up.
Is it his versatility that makes him so strong? Oh, yeah. Uncanny shooting. Also one of the shrewdest players in the league, like Jordan, plays with tenacity and sagacity.
Grant Hill, the young heir apparent to Michael Jordan in this league as a star. Let's go, baby. It's our game right here, baby. Come on. The Pistons are a team that not many teams want to play against right now. One reason why, of course, is Grant Hill.
I think I'm the best player out there, and that's just the kind of confidence you have to have in order to do well at this level.
Grant Hill, boy, is he smooth going to the bucket.
When you're bringing the ball up the court, or you're kind of sizing up the defense. You feel kind of like a running back who just got the ball, and you're going through, you're reading the holes, and which way can you go?
Is he quick with that crossover?
I'm not really looking at my man. I feel as if I can get my man anytime I want to.
Here's Grant Hill. The killer crossover. It's Tim Hardaway at 6'8".
You can sense that they may doubt themselves, and you attack them, and you go right at them.
And Detroit just spreading the court, letting Grant Hill take over and work his magic.
He's such a nice person, and this is no phony at all. He really is the All-American kid.
Nice guys finish last, that's what they say.
Mason isolated against Hill.
Yeah, I may be nice, I may be friends with you off the court, but on the court, I don't care, if you're an old roommate, I don't care if you're a friend, I don't care if you're my mother, my father, I want to beat you.
Rejected big time by Grant Hill.
Afterwards, we can be friends, but for that 48 minutes, we're enemies.
You've got to like Grant, you've got to like his work ethic, you've got to like his perseverance.
But it's oozing out of his body right now. It's written all over him, isn't it?
When things are going real well for you and you're scoring, you want the ball in your hands, and your teammates want the ball in your hands as well.
I want to see a star go to work. Imano, Grant Hill, oh my!
Sometimes you amaze yourself. You're like, hey, did I really get up that high? Or did I shake that person the way I thought I did? And did I really dunk on that person?
Grant Hill is showing his explosiveness to the basket.
When you dunk the basketball, it's a real good feeling, and sometimes you feel like you can fly.
He hammered it home as he floated through the air.
The crowd feeds off that, your teammates do, and the defense rises up to another level, and it gets everyone going.
There's Grant Hill. Oh, what a superstar he's becoming.
Grant Hill has done it all tonight. Great game for number 33.
The same reason why I fell in love with it when I was 8 years old. I'm in the game because I love it and I enjoy it. Not for the money or fame or whatever. It's just to play basketball. I love the game.
I'll stay. I got it. When they start grinding it out, I'm going to want you back there.
I look at all my friends who I grew up with, and we all had that dream to be in the NBA. And, I'm the only one who's been fortunate to make it there.
Here's a guy who loves to play the game of basketball. Look at him.
it's like you dream of it and you're there. Your dream comes true.
I'm going home and going to sleep.
When I think about the future, there are two goals of mine in the NBA. One is to win championships, and one is to be the best player to ever play the game. And that's what motivates me. You know, when I retire, I want to retire as the best player in basketball.
Grant Hill's only been in the league a short while. The future for this young man, limitless.
It's not enough to simply do your best. It's not enough to conduct yourself in a credible fashion on and off the court. You have to win. So he wants to win a championship. Of course, once he wins one, he's going to want another one.
Success is a journey, not a destination. Whatever greatness is in the NBA, if he achieves that it's not a static place, that it has to continue to change and evolve. And he's going to have to continue growing and never be satisfied.
I think after he gets through playing, he'll have a tremendous impact on what's going on in our society because he'll command a lot of attention. And he's the kind of person that when they command a lot of attention and people ask him questions, he'll give the right answers.
Everyone should dream and have dreams and do what you try to do to make those dreams come true. I know I have, and you know, in some ways, I've been fortunate that a lot of my dreams have come true. But even today, I dream. It's been a wild journey since I was 8 years old, but things have happened so fast that I think when it's all over with and I'm retired from playing, I'll have lots of time to reflect on everything that's happened. But right now, I don't want to look back. I want to look forward.
Hi, this is G-Love on WBLS. Coming at you on the Quiet Storm.
Where in the world will the Pistons be without Grant?
You're on the Olympic team. Get to where they go.
Oh, you're so wrong. You are so wrong.
Who's my all-time favorite basketball player?
Grant Hill, he's the whole package, believe me.
Me.
The best part of my rookie year was probably an opportunity to meet Janet Jackson.
Hill with a flying finger roll and falls.
Hey. May the real 33 stand up.
Yes, I'd like to order some room service. Kind of mumbled on there.
All right, now it's not easy to hold his pose.
Von Robinson wheeling off the high glass and hit it. What a sweet shot.
Can I get the New Yorker?
It's tough when you're on top.
The camera moving kind of fast.
Takes the baseline. Here's the finger roll. He filled it up.
Ready and action.
The clock's at 14. Alley-oop to Grant for the dunk. Young heir apparent to Michael Jordan.
I don't know the words.
When I think about the future, think about what I'm going to eat in about 15 minutes. Orange juice and bacon.
You be shaking my hand.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's like I'm playing Memphis.
It'll be like this. There was a piece of glass.
And I never answer my phone either. That's something you do in the NBA. You never answer your phone.
Just Lucy sat upon it. Her little. I hold my Sprite in my right hand and I tap my Mark.
Just to win. That's the most important thing. just to be thought of as a winner and someone who was unselfish and was a good person.
My teacher loved you. He gonna like you in his book.
See you guys next time. Take care.